Hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to Learn Collective Podcast again.
Yeah.
And we are here with our have our tea this morning.
Yeah, it's definitely, well, we would say autumn.
It's not quite autumn though.
It's pretty much changed.
I
mean, yeah.
That's all right. Anyways, it's cloudy and it feels like a good day to have tea. We have tea every day. Let's be clear about that. But
yeah,
it is October. And with that, is this interesting, shall we call it phenomenon? I don't know if that's the right word or trend. Trend is the right word. Trend is the right word.
Social media trend.
Social media trend.
Yeah.
And that is the idea of an October challenge. And so we thought we would talk about that because that is something that might affect it could affect your business or the pressure you feel to do one, to do a challenge. Normally they're a creative side of things, but I've seen them all over the board, actually, like life challenges, yoga challenges, like all these different things. So we thought we would chat about that because it's something that we sometimes engage in and sometimes don't or kind of do. So
I just think it's funny that why did it all of a sudden it's October? To me, it seems like, I mean, as we've been in business for this long,
it's a horrible month to be doing a challenge.
It's not a fun month because you're also trying to think of, like, at least for us,
you're prepping your business
we're
for
prepping
Christmas.
our business for Christmas.
I mean, we've already done a lot of stuff, but you're prepping your business.
So
I
feel like it puts a lot of pressure. Like, you kind of want to do all these challenges, you want to try these things, but then you also have to, pay attention to what you're going to do for Christmas. Are you going to bring out new products? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? You know, like, it's just crazy. So personally, I don't know if it's the best month for it.
No, it's not. So in case you're listening or watching and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. So what tends to happen? Now there are different months for different things, like
That's
small
true.
business ones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, there's a lot in October. And what this is basically in the month of October, starting from the 1st through the 31st, is somebody will give a prompt each day. If it's a creative one, give some examples of the ones you've been doing.
Well, it's the creative ones can be very abstract.
Well, exactly.
As far as, the words.
So there may be a word prompt like
cowboy
or something like that.
Yeah.
And so then artists and stuff would go and they would draw a cowboy. They'd do a digital cowboy. They'd paint one. They do all these different things. There's different ones that are for lettering. There's some that are for drawing. There's some that it doesn't matter what you do. There's definitely photography ones that I've seen. There are business ones that are like, show this part of your business today. Give us your personal backstory, like all that. And they're all I'm not all, like I said, there are some throughout the year. We've participated in a couple of Meet the Maker that I can't remember what month that typically is.
March, isn't it?
March, maybe, yeah. So there are ones spread out, but for some reason in October, there's a lot of them. And there is, if you're in the industry or if you're just creative and you're wanting to expand your creativity or kind of push yourself to get in a rhythm of creating, then October, for some reason, a lot of them fall in that month. Yeah. And the reason why we wanted to talk about it is because with anything on social media, it is based on social media, mainly Instagram. I'm sure they've started doing some other stuff, but with anything like this, you have to go back to, and sorry you guys that we always say this constantly about like what your purpose is and what the reason is you're doing in something. And so with this, like, why do you want to participate and what is the reason to participate? Yeah. And there are good and bad things on both sides of those. And so or what are the good things? Like, because you've dipped in and out of some of these and that kind of thing. So what do you think are the good things?
I've done, it's mainly focused around, in the past, it's been Inktober.
That's probably the one that kind of started the trend. We think. Somebody might have been before,
But I think, a lot of it has always stemmed for me around Inktober, and I've done it a couple times all the way through. I might not have been like a daily poster for the posting something on a daily basis, but I did do 31 drawings or whatever it is. And so for me, it's really about creating a rhythm and a creative practice on a daily basis that I can, because a lot of times I think, at least if you're creatively doing what you do for your business or how you make money, a lot of times you can get stuck in projects, you can get just into certain routines and admin and all that kind of stuff that you get out of a rhythm of maybe doing your craft on a daily basis for fun, for something that expands your expands your creativity and your imagination and just how you do things, or even gives you an opportunity to try something new. Because I think if you're doing it as a business and your craft as a business, a lot of times you get kind of in your routine, right? And you kind of not stuck in your routine because you know, people are desiring the thing that you're creating, but you might not be exploring as much, which could take your craft to that next step. And so for me, I feel like these October challenges, these prompt challenges, are those opportunities for me. It's a really fun way to, and as well, the other thing is that you get to interact with, if you choose to, you get to interact with other creatives that are doing the similar things as you, and you just get to encourage one another and really, just connect with other artists maybe that you don't necessarily traditionally interact with online and stuff like that.
I would say those are the good reasons to do a challenge. If you are thinking through things and you are like, I feel like I've gotten out of the rhythm of creating because I'm maybe it is because you have a business and you're just doing that, or you're trying to get into something or like practice it. Like I have a couple friends here that are trying to get it, like, not when I say get into photography, they just want more practice with it. They have no interest in doing it in a business or anything like that, but they do want to practice. Something like this gets you into that rhythm of like, oh yeah, today here's the prompt, let me see what I can come up with that. And so like those are really good. And like you said, in the past and stuff like that, it's been really good for like getting to know some other artists via Instagram and things like that. So those are all good reasons, I would say, and I'm going to speak from the standpoint of maybe the reasons that are not a good reason to get involved with one of these. And the number one thing we would both say is if your reason behind doing this is because you want to grow your following and you then think that's going to grow your business through this, that's not a good reason. That may have been the case, I don't know, a long, long time ago, possibly, if you were somebody who was selling something directly to artists or creatives. If you're just selling prints of your artwork and stuff, the chance and likelihood of someone that is another creative that's doing one of these, prompts and things for the month going on and be like, oh, I like their artwork, I want to purchase it. That is, I can tell you from personal experience, we have seen and found a lot of other artists through these things. And we do go on and we're like, oh gosh, they've got great artwork, I love it and stuff like that, but we don't have enough more wall space on our wall or something. I may save it for later for a gift or something like that possibly, but I've actually never gone back to that list and purchased. I feel bad saying that, but that's just reality. So if you can realize what you do as a consumer, most likely the majority of people are going to do that too.
I will say that a lot of artists that I do interact with and stuff like that will put a lot of their drawings up for sale after the month. And some of them do, like, they go pretty fast, especially if they're like, they have the bigger followings and stuff like that, because other artists a lot of times want some of those pieces and things like that. Or and so I mean, yes, I do say it's probably not going to like Maya was saying, grow certain things to a certain point. If you're
smaller, let me just say this. I think if you have 1 million followers, because I can think of some artists you're talking about.
Exactly.
Anything you post, it doesn't matter what time of year. Well, I'll say this. In general, if you have the correct following of people following you, people will probably purchase that. There's a couple of artists that we follow. They have built their audience to be people that purchase art and purchase things like that. And so, yes, then after they get done with October and they post a couple of those things, they go super quick. For the majority of other people, you can't bank on that. That is not going to grow your business. You want to be bringing followers to your. We have lots of thoughts on social media right now. Basically, what we're trying to say: social media is not the place to get sales. It may happen for some people. For the majority of people right now, that is not happening. There are other things you can be focusing on to grow that part of your business. And so if the reason you're doing this is because you want more followers, why do you want more followers? What is your purpose for more followers? If it's because you just want to connect with more artists, great, then that might be a reason to do it. If it's because you want it to grow your business and add extra sales, that's not a reason to do it. Like Pat said, there's the very small exception.
Or you need to have a different strategy on your social media. Like the challenge isn't necessarily probably if you're wanting to.
I would say we guys have already shared this with you, so I'm gonna remind Pat. We took a month off social media for our business, and we've been in business for 15 plus years. We took a month off of social media, and our business grew. Because we were not on social media and we were focusing on other things. And since then, we've really down. You guys, if you follow us on Instagram, have probably realized we don't post as often, we're not as interactive and stuff like that. And our business is growing in other ways, and our followers have gone down.
Yeah.
So
basically, yeah, if you're trying to do these prompts and to grow your business and to do that thing, maybe it's not necessarily the right strategy.
That would not be the right reason.
That's our experience. So,
if you're wanting to use them to, though, something that could be good for your business is if you're wanting to use it because you want more art to sell. Maybe you're really, beginning and stuff like that. Then again, that's a great reason. Like I said, if you're wanting to try something and you're getting into something like and that kind of thing, and so you want some kind of prompt. I think another thing that it can feel like a lot of pressure.
Yeah, gosh.
It's doing something every day for 31 days. And yes, when you set, we're big on habits in our house and stuff like that. And when you do something regularly, you set a habit, you get used to doing it. So it may be you get up in the morning and that's what you've been doing.
That's what I've been doing, yeah.
He gets up and he does the prompt in the morning before everyone else is up.
It's kind of like a warm-up a lot of ways. I mean, I know that's what a lot of artists that I've seen or whatever, that they've used their warm-up for the day to get kind of, their hand moving or whatever. If they're, a visual artist and things like that, they will do in the morning first thing, and because that just kind of gets them going before they step into some of the work and stuff that they have to do later on in the day. So
that's a good reason to do it. I think the thing with it then too, though, would be like, don't feel pressure if you miss a day, or don't what if you can only do one a week, pick the one you like that week and do that one. I think that's the thing. I feel like I often see on these posts of like, oh, I missed the last 4 days, but here's this one, so sorry. Like, you don't need to apologize for that. No one is holding you account. Maybe the person that's coming up with the prompt should definitely be posting every day about what the prompt is, but everyone else that's involved with it, I hope the intention behind the people that are doing these things is to get you to engage with them. But is to help you just maybe slowly start some rhythms and stuff like that. And so if you don't do it every day, don't feel guilty. You may do one and you're like, I'm not inspired by a lion or something like that. Then don't do that one. It's okay. Don't force yourself to do something, I guess. Yeah. And don't let it take away. If you realize that if you have a business, again, some of you will be doing these prompts that don't have a business. But if you have a business and you realize I'm spending a lot of time on this thing, or I'm spending a lot of time on commenting on other people's stuff on it, which is the whole, it's set up to be community. But if you realize that's what you're doing and you've spent 3 hours on that during the day, and then you're getting frustrated because you're not doing certain things in your business, that would be a time to take a look at it and be like, oh.
Yeah, maybe you're spending a little bit too much time on it.
Because this is a key time for businesses as you are a small business, as you're getting ready for Christmas, no matter what you sell. Obviously, if you're product-based, that's for gifting for Christmas. If you are somebody that teaches something, January is huge for people signing up for courses and stuff, because they're like, oh, I want to change this. I want to start a business. I want to change this in my life. I want to do this. And so this is a key time for businesses to just be getting ready for November. Really, the end of October is when Christmas stuff is already out.
I was going to say, yeah.
Here, at least in London, it is. And so that's something to think about of ooh, am I going to regret this in mid-November because I wasn't prepping enough stuff to have ready to ship out, or whatever it might be, or prepping certain things and that kind of thing, when it tends to be a busier time anyway. So don't let it take away from that stuff. But you would say definitely.
Yeah, I think if you're putting too much pressure on it, it's going to end up being something not enjoyable, right? And so that to me is kind of the whole hope for me, at least personally, as I'm doing some of these prompts and looking at some of these different challenges, is to create a rhythm of enjoyment and exploring and trying some different things. Because again, I feel like, and we feel like, when you're experimenting and you're creating space to do some of that stuff, it could lead into something that you use in your business. And so, it's just, for me, it's just really helpful to maybe step in and dip out. I don't necessarily feel a pressure of I need to make sure that I'm doing something every day. But if I've got an idea and I want to create something, then I've got that freedom, and it's okay. And I will do that. Again, making sure though, it's not taking away from the other things that are on our schedule and our routine and all that kind of stuff. But I love them. I think they're really, really fun. I wish it was a different time, that it was so, time of year, because we are so busy with getting stuff ready for Christmas and things. But at the same time, I think it's a fun break from kind of the normal things that we're, dealing with and doing. And for me so far, like, I've done it for a couple days and it's been really fun. I've been painting more and doing things like that. And so who knows what it's going to lead to, but I'm just having fun and enjoying it. I know that there are other artists that take it really, really seriously, and that's awesome too. Like, they plan out the whole month and they do a lot of prep work even in September and like all that kind of stuff. And, some of those secrets too are they probably created them in September. Some of the pieces of artwork they probably created.
How do they know the prompts in September?
A lot of the times the prompts are released early.
Oh,
or earlier before October, so people can do that, can prep and do all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely both sides of the spectrum of doing it. But for us personally and how we interact with them is it's more of like, there's not a lot of pressure with it. Have fun with it. Explore.
Use it to connect with other artists. That's what I would say, or other people that, if you, like I said, if you are trying to get in, you're just wanting to have photography as a hobby or something like that, it is a great way to find other people that you're inspired by, right? So I think that is the biggest tool. The thing that I just have seen, like, I saw somebody actually post on their story, this was a couple months back when there was like some other prompt, and they said, I'm so sucked into this, like I haven't even paid attention to my email today and stuff like that. And those kinds of things, that's where you want to be. And it can get really easy because like you go onto the hashtag for it or whatever onto the feed, and it's like, I like this person, and then you go on to their feed, and it just, I mean, it does the exact thing that social media is supposed to do, is get you sucked in and keep you on the app for as long as you possibly can. So set yourself some limits on it if you're going to participate in October Challenge. The other thing that I think can happen with it a lot, because this has happened with that Meet the Maker business one, you're going to compare yourself. And so, we are big also on the fact that like comparison is the thief of all joy, which is the cheesy phrase that is out there, but it is so true. And it will especially, this is not the best time of year for you to have that be in the mix of things if you are running a small business, because you're going to see people out there that are on all spectrums of their craft. And often the ones, especially when you go on to the most popular ones, those are going to be the people that generally maybe have larger followings and stuff like that, because the algorithm, that's what it will show you. And so it can be super easy then. Like, I know when we've done the business one, I've gone and I'm like, how, this person has like 200,000 followers. How have they done that? And that kind of thing. And again, like we've said 1,000 times before,
you get sucked in.
Doesn't mean that their business is, in fact, the person that creates that prompting thing actually had made a post about the fact that like my business is hurting right now and that kind of thing. And so if that tells you anything, it's just a reminder as you're interacting with it. If you start to feel yourself comparing like, oh, I wish I'm not that good or that kind of thing, step away from it for a while. It's not worth it for that either. Still do the prompts and maybe just don't go like take a screenshot. And don't go on social media if you need to take a break from that kind of stuff, because you don't want to put yourself in that spiral of comparison as well.
I know one other fun thing that I would say too is it is something fun that you could do with your kids. If your kids are really creative and things like that, it gives you a whole list of things. And, again, Jude and I usually end up doing it from time to time, or he likes to dip in with me and dip out. But I think, again, it's another fun thing that you could, if you're looking for something creative for your family to do, or you have some, kids that are very creative, maybe get them involved and just do it at home and have fun with it, and don't stress out about doing it every day, but you've got a list of fun things that you could potentially do with them. So,
or keep them, the prompts, and do it over a holiday, like sorry, I said holiday, a kid's break, a
vacation,
or that kind of thing. If you're like looking, or keep those prompts for summer and do that with your kids when they're home and stuff. So like you don't have to just use these during the month of October. Use them other times too, especially when it comes to your kids and stuff like that, because this may not be the right time for them as well. So so that is our thoughts on the October challenges that seem to just be everywhere. I mean, there's sewing ones, like I said, there's a ton of different. There's everything. I think
I feel like there is a hashtag for everything, but
I am almost positive there's one about getting your house organized in October as well. And I don't know how I stumbled upon that. A friend must be doing it or something.
Maybe the algorithms are telling you something.
Our house is organized ish. There's some areas drawers that could, but it was literally like that. Organize your kitchen today. Like do this, do that. Organize this drawer in your kitchen and that kind of stuff. So it's prevalent everywhere that it has just like these challenge idea has like, I don't know, just taken so that's why we wanted to talk about it, because you're going to see it probably if you're on social media, in particular if you're on Instagram, and that kind of thing. And so we thought we would just touch on it because it may be something, if you're feeling pressure to do it, don't worry about it. If you're thinking it's going to be the thing that's going to grow your business, probably 99% of the chances, no. And that kind of stuff. But at the same time, if you're looking for something that you want to get into more of a rhythm and you just want to have a bit of fun, jump on board. If you want to meet a couple other artists and you're going to be okay with like not comparing yourself and that kind of thing, we always recommend try and find other creatives and artists who have the closer following to you, because then then it's easier to like have relationships with them and start that and that kind of thing. Send them direct messages. Don't just comment. Send them a direct message to say, like, if you really do want to establish that relationship. When somebody's got a large following, they, number one, may not be the person answering their direct messages. Number two, they may not be able to get to them, and that's just kind of harder to establish a relationship. And it can happen, but somebody feel like you're being authentic and not just another, So those are some great tips during it to use to
as the artist, or as somebody that is just doing creative stuff on a daily basis, it's amazing for creative block, and it's also just great to break the routine, do something different, try something different. And that's really why I love it. It's just fun.
So you're not going to do the organize your house one this time?
I'm not going to do that. I can participate if I need to. I can participate in that and help with some of that stuff, but I will not be doing that on a regular basis.
Okay,
no.
Just checking.
No.
Seeing if you're going to do 2 challenges this month, maybe. Okay.
No, I can barely do one. So.
So we'd love to hear from you guys, or we'd love to hear from you too, especially when we are on Instagram. We try to just interact with the people who are following us and stuff. Like, if you're doing one, let us know. We'd love to see what you're doing and that kind of thing. What is the one that you were doing?
Yeah, so I'm doing Peachtober. Is
there a certain person that...
Yeah, I don't know her name.
But if they went and did hashtag Peachtober? Yeah,
if you did hashtag Peachtober, or there is an Instagram handle called Peachtober, you'll be able to find the artist that started it. And we're sharing this. She's a great...
And we're sharing this at the beginning of October if you're wanting to jump in or check out these things and stuff
it's
like that.
It's not too late.
No, exactly. It's not too late as well. So, but we'd love to see what you're doing if you are doing stuff. And don't feel the pressure if you're not doing anything. No worries whatsoever. So we hope this has been an encouraging chat, or some of it was, it was encouraging, I hope. Of things that you may be thinking through as October is here and there's all these challenges going around. We'd love to hear from you guys, and one way that you can help us at Laurent Collective and our small family business that we have here is if you are watching this on YouTube to like and subscribe, and if you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts or whatever your podcast venue, that's not the right word.
Yeah, wherever you
listen to podcasts. If you can please rate and review, and if that would be amazing, because that helps people find us then. So thank you so much for listening, and we will be back soon.